Nice cold Sunday. My seat brackets all done. Thank God. Front fender, I haven't welded that thing yet. I have this 10-inch round, meaning 10 inches from here to here. Portable 5-gallon tank that it's like 20 inches long or something like that. I never use this thing. Actually, I have two of them. I have a big orange one somewhere. I think it's in there. This one's actually broken gauge. I'm going to take all this stuff off, and I think I'm going to cut the ends off and see what I can do. Now to get this off, I got to cut the weld on a certain side so I can weld it again. I'm going to have some metal rolled to make a longer tank, but I was thinking this would make a great gas tank versus paying $215 for one. It goes from here to there. I'm thinking it goes like your average trike, goes from this side to this side, right behind the shroud. And then build something off the back for the seat, or seats, or whatever, and go from there. But I want to play with this tank, and I'll either use it or I won't. You know, we'll see what happens. So, aside from the ends being all rusty, the powder coat came right off with an oxide flapper. I cut the edge all the way around to the right side of the weld from the outside, so I didn't have anything, so I had plenty to weld to. I'm thinking the piece that goes inside this is going to be on the inside, and then you weld it on the lip. Just the way they did. This is the case to my camera, which is in my hand. This is the tablet, which just did the time-lapse photography of me cutting the thing open. But those are nice and clean. I got this thing for, check this out, $1. I got it for $1 at the flea market. Like, I don't know, 2 years ago. I think I've used it once. So it's just been sacrificed to be a new gas tank, which will probably go from here to the other side. Just got to get a piece of sheet metal rolled, probably 16 gauge. Get some fittings. I got to see if I have any of the fittings that Dad made left. I don't think so. I think they were up here. No, I don't think there's any of those left. If they are, they'd be in my air fittings drawer. Not seeing it. That's alright, I can always find some. Can always cut the ends off of one of these too. There's your quarter MPT right there. This is all my air fitting stuff. I also bought some new ones because I didn't have any more of the ones I use. But that was a nice struggle. My God. Took the sharp edge off on both sides, inside and out. It's actually nice and clean. This was all rusty underneath the powder coat, so like I said, there were some spots. You've just seen a big section of it fly off. I used an oxide flapper in the middle of it, right here. In the middle of it, I was looking for another one because this one's kind of wasted. I don't think I have any more. I might have one or two more, but they're in my box of supplies here. These are all cutting wheels, so I wasn't worried about wasting a cutting wheel. These are all cutting wheels. Underneath is those roll-locks, and I have big roll-locks, and I have more cutting wheels. If I got one, it's buried in here somewhere. I've never needed any supplies. Except the gauge. I wanted to bring up the gauge. This was the gauge that Joe Mullen sent me. Now, Joe Mullen was a 42 year maintenance guy at General Motors, and there was a day in the life when I had a crappy little welder, not this one, maybe it was this one, and my tank had fallen over because I was stupid and I didn't have a card or nothing for it, and it broke right here. And Joe Mullen actually sent me 2 of these. I have another one I gave to my friend Hank. He recently passed away. He had a beautiful candy apple red Model T T-bucket. I cut him something in stainless steel like that. I cut him this thing that said 23T, and it was all about 3 inches high, 2 inches high. It said 23, and underneath it had a T or above it, and he used that as his hood ornament for the longest time. I think it's still there. But I used to talk to him all the time. That's all I have of him. Here's my Miller 251. This is the other tanks. This one and this one. Now they're only 6 inches round. I could still use it. It could still be another, I believe it's only like 4 gallons, so maybe 5. It is 6 inches long and I believe 30 inches long. 6 inches wide, 30 inches long. Let me find out. Hold on, let me pull up the tape. Oop. Alright, we are 6 inches wide, and bear with me, it's about, I give it 32 inches. So 6 by 32. You figure it out. It ain't much. But this thing, when it's done, sorry, that when it's done, 10 by 30 I believe was 10 gallons, or 10 by 33 was 10 gallons. That's about what a Volkswagen came with, that little 10-gallon tank. So that should be a good fit. My heater's cranking out here. It's nice, $10, you filled the thing up, it lasts forever. Just enough to warm up and do some work out here. I gotta get this off the ground before I step on it, because I know I will. Let's put it over here. If I could get things off the floor, it might be good, you know. So, another step, making a tank. my tractor seat is back over here hidden away. See it under there? I'm shaking a little because it's cold out here. Thinking of using it. I also found a cool bench seat I'd like to use, but still looking. I recently got a bunch of staging material. It's an old staging tubes and stuff like that. I gotta go pick them up from a guy up the street. I talked to him before. I helped him with his dog, and he says, yeah, take it all. He hasn't touched it in years, and he's an old guy. He says, I'm not going to get back into doing roofing anymore, so you can have it. So I'll have a bunch of nice tubing to cut up and make some kind of a back area back here. But we'll go from there. But that's it. I had fun today. I'm going in. Have a good night. Alright, just for reference, I'm thinking if I come in about 3 inches off the end of the tube, go over to here, the piece of metal I'm going to want is going to be 34 inches. Leaves me about 1.5 inches for the room, for the end cap, and still plenty of room on both sides. Plus I have to make a bracket that's going to go from side to side, so, or off the transmission, or who knows what. But I'm thinking 34, 33, around there. I think 34 is a good number. Since it lips on the inside of this ring, that will put this, if we're talking 34 inches, it would be about right here. So about right there. It's not going exactly there, it would be up here, but there's 34 inches. There's a little bit of a lip inside to go inside the tank. I think it'll be good. Until tomorrow, have a good night. I need to do the circumference of this tank. So this was about 9 3/4 across. Let's see. It's actually a little less if I can get my tape measure to come in. We are at about, oof, I'm going to try to get a mark here. 9 and 1, 2, 3/8. 9 3/8. So 9 3/8 is my width. I'm going to leave it at that, maybe add 1/4 inch because I have the, it's going inside the circle, not outside the circle. I wouldn't want to put it outside and then find out I didn't have enough sheet metal to weld across. I don't mind having a little lip, but that's okay. Got this weird color inside. Oh boy. See ya. Alright, well we got a full tank of kerosene. I just filled it up and she's going like crazy. I was just come out here working and it went dead. It was empty. So I went and got $10 on my little Caro can. And I know yesterday I spent probably an hour just cutting these things off and cleaning them up, right? Then I went in that house. I went in the house the same night and I bought a tank for $145, I think it was, off of Amazon. Of course, it wasn't there 2 days earlier when I was looking at ones that were $215. I believe it's 10 by 30 or 33. Should be about 10.3 gallons, 10.2 gallons. Am I zoomed in? Maybe I'm zoomed in. Yeah, that's what the problem is. So I got a nice aluminum tank coming for this. I did reconnect my clutch cable. It goes right there. I got some wire ties because when the ends overlap, I have to overlap the ends. I'll show you why. This is like a ground connector. I use 2 of these. There's one here and there's one here. Alright. And I leave a little bit extra cable if something breaks. Yeah, this thing works. It's pretty cool. It's like a ground clamp. I don't know what it's for. Somebody out there knows what it's for. But it's got a curved piece between them that each side of the cable sits in, and then you just crimp it down. This was something I had. That's a real hook from a clutch cable that's normally inside the tunnel, if you remember me building the pedals. I think I'm going to beef these up a little more. I don't know if I'm going to stick with this L-bracket setup. I'd like to make it all 1-inch steel. That would be really nice. And it'd be too easy to convert it over. So, but these work right now, and they're right where I wanted it, a few inches away, probably 4 or 5 inches. The deck's a little bit lower, and that's on purpose, so you can use your clutch and then rest your foot. Use your brake, rest your foot. That's why I put the wider end towards the front. Everybody was like, oh, put the skinny towards the front. Nah, do it the way I want it, right? So on my tank, on my Fank, because it's a fake tank, I'm going to run some more ribs over this eventually. I got a throttle to connect. I think I'm going to take the handlebars off and finish weld this on both sides. I really want to put a piece of rebar from here to here, just because it'll add strength, and I think I like the look, like the old BMX handlebars look. I have to figure out all the color codes for all the wiring that goes down in there. Everything I'd like to have it connected in there, but I can't do any of that until my handlebars are done. So I think I'm going to take all the stuff off, the mirrors, the grips, the controls. I'm going to take it all off and finish weld my handlebars and find a piece to go here. I don't think I have any rebar. I might have some 1/2-inch rod, but I don't really want to use that. I want rebar for a reason, because I like it, and it's solid steel. I might have a piece outside. I'll have to look around. Might be in that corner. Might be in this corner. Can you see it? Is there any in there? I can't see in there. But that's the plan. Take the handlebars off and mess with those. Like I said yesterday, I messed with these tank ends. Cleaned them up. We'll still make a tank out of it. We'll just, we'll use it for something else. I think these would be great on the other trike. But I also have those tanks for the other trike, because it's a swing axle. You can put them in the little cubby hole right here. They can go right here and mount to this because it doesn't have that control arm. The swing axle goes from there to there. That's it. There's no control arm right here. This is an IRS. The wheels are pretty much straight, except for a couple degrees. When the all the weight's on it, they should be upright. Oh, I got yellow powder coat on my red powder coat. It's not, that's not, what do you call it, moisture. It's actually oil. I sprayed the piss out of these things with oil. Alright. Well, I put this air cleaner on because it was just kicking around. I didn't like my carburetor being open. I had a blanket or something over. What the hell did I do with it? I must have put it somewhere. Alright, I'm going to take them handlebars off and mess with finish welding this stuff. It's welded on the back side of this where I cut it open, because this is 7/8, this is 1 inch. I split it open and made them work. Laid it flat in the ground, and then I just welded the back side. I don't mind having the wires on the outside. As long as it all fits and reaches and I can make connections inside, I'm happy with that. We'll take the mirrors off. Alright, I'm going to rip this stuff off and fix my handlebars. Focus. Very, very little grinding now. I did sand it with 80 grit and a little handheld DA thing. Weld all the way around. And when we're ready, the top tree will come off. Just going to paint the whole thing. Maybe not the nuts, but the whole thing. Touch up the black, put the headlight back on, call it a day. The handlebars are powder coated black. It's probably where it gets that extra thickness for the grips to grab onto, but this one floats all over the place. The other one, not so much. Doesn't want to turn. It looks good. It's better than it was. My gas is running out of my welder. I think I got these a little high, for me anyway. Well, they look okay. Maybe we could put these straight up, see what they feel like. They feel good. I mean, you get on the thing, and it will support your weight. A little wobbly. Ooh, let me zoom out here. What the hell is going on? Keep hitting that damn zoom button. It's a little wobbly in the running boards up front. The handlebars feel good. It's about arm level. I mean, shoulder height. 7/8 up to 1 inch Harley handlebars. Split it on the bottom. I've got about, you can see it, I got about 2 inches of it, or 1.75 inches at least, inside this bar. This was those weird little drag bars, kind of like those right there. There's another set of handlebars right there. I might use those grips. I like those grips. If I get the damn things off. Stupid focus! Zoom, I mean. Oh my god. My hand, your hand is like right on it. It's almost impossible not to hit it. Feels good. You have to sand these all down. There's a little slit right here, but that's okay. I sand them all down, paint them black. Feels good. I only have one hand. Alright, I have some time-lapse video for you. That's it. I am going in. Let's hit the kill button here. Woof. That thing goes like a bat out of hell when it's full. I mean, it's actually getting pretty hot in here. There's a case for my camera. Where's the sander I used? Here you go. Here's my little palm sander. 80 grit. My little cutter, my little cotton wheel, my little wire brush, oxide flapper, grinding stone. Got them all right here. Alright guys, I'd like to do some more. This has actually been 2 days, about not even an hour a piece. I had to run around and get kerosene. I do have some steel tubing in the form of some staging coming for the back of this. It's an old staging platform that someone's thrown away. It's all rusty. Should be able to get quite a few pieces of pipe out of it that are just a little bit smaller than this one. I think these are 2 inch. I think the staging is 1.5 inches. But I had to run around, get some kerosene, get some gas in my van, and came back and welded my handlebars, got all the crap off. So these are all done. Unless I put a bar across. I don't know, we'll see. Tell me what you think about putting a bar across the front. I'll let you decide. I was thinking a nice 1/2 inch piece of rebar, like maybe here across. Because I'm going to have something to mount my camera to, too. I don't want to mount my camera down here, because then the headlight gets in the way. Because the headlight's higher than the handlebars by quite a bit. Not that this headlight's any good. I have to get a new headlight eventually. These are just, I think these are Honda headlights. Honda, Kawasaki, Harley. What else we got? Volkswagen. All in fun. Never been this close to running and driving, especially with a seat. I never had a seat. I was always sitting on the pipe and trying to drive the damn thing. This year we got a seat. Maybe we can even do some laps. The taillights are going to be pretty cool. I love the LED strip taillights. Kind of hides the fact that it's got any lights on it until you start it up. But that's it. I'm going in. I'm going to put these 2 videos together. You have a good night. And I'll see you next time. Can't wait for my fuel tank to get here. Woohoo! Alright, you ready? I'm going to show you how a Volkswagen shifts. My friend Bob made that adapter right there. It goes to the Volkswagen, the flat spot on the hockey stick that goes into the transmission. When it comes out, it turns into a 1/2 inch round rod with a flat spot on it that set screw goes into. That's one of my dad's old Mac swivels. It's got a little bit of play in it, but I'll tell you, it works beautifully. This is an adapter that was a, I believe it was a socket adapter, 3/8 or 1/2 inch. but it had to be drilled out. Put a set screw in the side so it locks on to the other side of the swivel. This is a 1/2 inch rod, goes all the way down, and it has a sleeve that goes inside the original shifter tube. But this is also adjustable. And everything mounts to that plate. So, here's my pool ball. This thing's pretty cool. I don't remember where I got that thing. It was online somewhere. But we're in neutral right now. Here's first gear, second gear, put it back, up, third gear, fourth gear, put it back. Now to go in reverse, you push it in, down, and back. And that's reverse. I already know this tranny works because I drove this thing once. Once you take it out of reverse, it goes right back to first and second. It's first, second, third, fourth, and then down, push it in, push it down, pull it back, that's reverse, which hits that little switch right there for your reverse light. Volkswagen Transmission 101. Have a good night.